Are you familiar with the intricate field of crime, where truth and deception often intertwine? Today, we explore this mystical tale where the line between the guilty and the innocent becomes blurry and unsettling. It's a disturbing strategy employed by only a few, as they had their evil intentions behind an innocent face. In March 2017, gunfire was reported in a Grand Rapids, Michigan neighborhood. The police found the lifeless body of Lori Lundenberg on the sidewalk. The absence of stolen belongings and bullet casings suggests it wasn't a typical robbery. Despite a year-long investigation with no witnesses or evidence, the case remained unsolved. In January 2018, another shooting occurred in the same area, leading the police to question Vicente Rodriguez. Vicente tried to flee but was caught and found with a gun matching the caliber used to kill Lori. Vicente became the prime suspect and the police prepared to interrogate him, aiming to unravel the truth behind the deceptive act of a suspect pretending to be a victim. In this crucial conversation, after Vicente is told about his rights, he says he doesn't understand what is being explained to him. Whether he's pretending not to know or genuinely doesn't understand doesn't matter, because the detective cannot continue questioning him until Vicente says he understands.
Sure, what happened didn't mean to happen, but we gotta talk about it and stuff, okay?
Vicente, I'm gonna read you your rights because you're here and you can't leave, and I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna read you your rights and then we can decide how this is gonna go, okay?
As the investigation unfolds, the spotlight falls on a recent breakup, sending shockwaves through the case. The detective dives into the intricate web of a romantic relationship, peeling back layers to reveal its depth and significance. It becomes evidence that the couple had set goals together for the upcoming year, potentially indicating a shared commitment. With unwavering determination, the investigator delves deeper, seeking clarity on the timeline of these shared aspirations. However, the conversation takes an unexpected turn, shifting the focus towards the suspect's anger issues and past counseling experiences. Then, the detective receives a communication from a higher-ranking officer, specifically a sergeant, instructing him to ensure that Vicente acknowledges his rights before the interrogation can proceed further. The suspect expresses a deeper struggle with controlling their emotions, indicating that it extends beyond anger. In an effort to establish a clear identity reference, the investigator seeks confirmation regarding the suspect's preferred name, Vicente or Shente.
Obviously very serious with each other. You had some goals written down there in your bedroom closet about what your goals together were going to be for the new year.
As the suspect begins to recount the events of the previous night, his recollections seem fragmented and disjointed. He mentions the time, approximately 4:30 in the afternoon, indicating a temporal reference point. The detectives prompt him to focus on the previous evening, specifically around 7, 8, or 9 o'clock. They seek to extract any relevant information that may shed light on the circumstances surrounding the case. The suspect admits to engaging in a text message exchange with his girlfriend. However, his ability to recall the specifics of the conversation proves challenging. He acknowledges feeling frustration during their interaction, yet he struggles to pinpoint the exact topic that triggered his anger. As the conversation abruptly ended, he found himself awaiting a response from her and resorted to making multiple calls to check in on her. It becomes apparent that the suspect's troubles lie within his romantic relationship with his girlfriend. His memory lapses and difficulty recalling the sequence of events. He then acknowledges that he knows that his girlfriend was cheating with another guy named Andre. The investigator emphasizes that this incident occurred recently and prompts the person to acknowledge the difficulty of sharing his side of the story.
Last night, 7, 8, 9 o'clock p.m.
I'm just trying to think about what I did yesterday.
By deepening the conversation with a discussion about an incident that occurred on 2nd Street the previous night, the authorities have received multiple accounts from witnesses, all pointing to the suspect's presence in the area. The time frame is fresh, merely a day ago. The conversation takes a turn as the suspect confirms his anger during the events on 2nd Street. It's revealed that the suspect had a dispute at home that triggered their emotional state. As they inquire about the events upon the arrival, they discover that he found his girlfriend in a car with Andre and a skinny girl.
I'm at home.
When you're texting. Okay. So did you walk immediately over there?
Yep.
What happened when you got over there?
When I got over there, only thing that I remember is that I started running towards the car.
After interrogating him for another hour, he finally started shedding some light onto what exactly had happened. The suspect acknowledges doing something harmful, but he acted like he didn't remember and remains uncertain about the specific nature of his actions. Despite his honesty, his lack of clarity raises doubts about his claims. The investigator persistently seeks a more detailed explanation, eventually implying the involvement of a weapon. Over the next hour, the detectives keep explaining to Vicente why he should confess to the crime. They tell him that they have more than enough evidence to prove he did it. At one point, Vicente tries to lie by saying he was at a friend's house watching a movie. But in the end, their persistence pays off, and Vicente starts to tell them exactly what happened. It seems like Vicente and the detectives have been dating for a long time. Now, he started to confess to running towards her, unintentionally frightening her. The investigation continues, establishing that he had indeed pointed the gun at her head, causing her distress. He reveals that he moved away from her after running towards the back area near the garage. However, there is an indication that an essential aspect of the story has yet to be disclosed. It is implied that there was another occurrence involving him and other individuals. Reflecting on his state of mind while coming back to the car, he reveals a mix of emotions. He then expresses surprise at his own actions, stating that he never expected himself to behave in such a manner. He finally admitted that he had shot Andre at their third encounter.
Because it kind of suits the purpose for yourself.
What? And I know, we've been in this situation with him before.
Vicente faced a difficult challenge when it came to admitting his responsibilities for Andre's death. However, after finally mustering the courage to confess, he began to openly discuss the events that transpired and his emotions surrounding them. With one confession out of the way, the detectives now had to exercise patience and wait for the opportune moment to broach the suspect of the initial murder. Investigators then accused him of allegedly pulling a gun on her. The suspect denies causing any harm, but acknowledges that the lady had a drinking problem and abusive behavior. The investigators emphasize that they have knowledge of her problematic history with law enforcement and mental health issues. To make him admit to the crime in March, the investigator addressed Vicente about the charges against him. The detectives openly accuse Vicente of killing Lori. They have evidence that the bullet casings match his gun. They warn him that if he doesn't confess soon, he won't be able to serve his jail sentences simultaneously for multiple crimes. Normally, criminals get concurrent sentences for multiple crimes, but if another crime is discovered after sentencing, they have to serve the sentences one after another.
Or would you drink water fine? I don't know if it's better for you, but if you like pop, some people like pop better than water.
I might as well, because I ain't gonna have it in a while.
You like Coke?
What y'all got?
Coke, Diet Coke, pretty much.
Just Coke.
What Mountain Dew?
Yeah, there might be
I
Mountain
don't
Dew.
mess with Mountain Dew. Yeah, I just go with Coke.
Then he states that Lori became upset and began to criticize them. He describes feeling overwhelmed by the combination of his personal circumstances and the ongoing situation. It is revealed that he had recently undergone a court hearing involving another person named Lori Lundenberg. He expressed resentment towards having to go to court and asserts that he felt wrongly charged in that case. As the conversation continues, the individual recalls the heated exchange with her in the street. He claims not to remember the specific object that she threw at him, but recounts that she became enraged and began to curse at him. He said that he was already angry at the time and had a firearm in his possession during this encounter. He then begins by recounting an encounter where his companion mentions having a firearm in the car. He expresses a desire to prevent someone, possibly the victim, from approaching the vehicle. In March of 2019, Vicente pleaded no contest to first and second degree murder. He received life in prison without the possibility of parole. The idea that a guy killed his own girlfriend makes me feel terrified to be in a relationship, but not as terrified as when I watched the story of a police officer who was put in jail for the rest of his life. Click that video right here.